guys, what's up? It's day 3 of E3. It is the last day. The con floor closes in what, 20 minutes?
20 minutes?
20 minutes, I
You
think?
got 20
It's
minutes?
closing soon.
20 minutes.
So basically, that's it. That's all the coverage we're doing. We don't get to play any more video games. But I am joined. We have a new guest. We just keep adding people onto this table. Like this table, we don't have any more room on the camera, okay?
It's going to become the Last Supper pretty
We
soon.
have a new guest. This is Earl Baylon. He is the voice of Jonah from Tomb Raider.
How's it going? Super cool.
How's your con going so far?
Con's been pretty awesome. Yesterday was really packed between like the streams and the Novo Theater, so at the E3 Coliseum. So it's been pretty awesome so far.
Well, nice. I'm ready to discuss everything that's been going on. And as always, we are joined by Xander over here.
Yay!
Hey, Xander.
Hello!
Bryan.
I feel
I'm
like
Bryan.
I want to go like
Piganzo.
Masterpiece Theater with you and be like, can I talk to Jonah, please?
And over here we have Cory.
Hi. As usual.
And we're all pretty
I know what's
exhausted.
there.
It's
Yeah!
Been a long
we
week.
need energy drinks.
I have an immense amount of energy.
But
My water is wearing sunglasses.
It's so
packed in-
cool.
I know. Your water bottle's so chill. It's like the chill smiley face. But we packed in as much as we possibly could today to get you guys as much coverage as we possibly can. Starting off, let's jump to Bryan, who got to check out Dying Light 2. I believe we have a clip. Let's run that first, and you can give us a little little tidbit.
Will do.
Oh, I'm sorry. To Bryan.
We have panic behind the camera.
Oh yeah, I get.
Update.
We're-
This just in. A child is missing.
oh God! Oh my God!
We've all received
Distract.
Amber Alerts.
Hinted on the next milk coming out tomorrow.
Yes.
The best is that we can see you panic on your screen on there because it's showing. So
Click,
if you
click,
look
click,
closely
click.
at the bottom left corner.
All right, Earl, come back to Earl while this gets ready. What was your schedule like yesterday?
Schedule was kind of hectic. I mean, like we went to. I got here maybe around 9 o'clock, and then I jumped into an interview. They're doing a documentary for.
Ooh.
That's super cool.
And then
cool.
I got to check out the behind closed doors of one part of the game that I'm not sure who's
You
able
have
to see
secrets?
that. I have secrets. And then I did a meet and greet at the Tomb Raider booth. So we said hi everybody that was waiting in line for a demo.
How often do you get recognized?
Absolutely never.
Until you start speaking.
Yeah, I used to do this thing where I would go around to like cons, like I would go around at AX and find every Lara I could find and take a picture with her.
Yeah.
And post on Instagram and not tell her who I was.
Sure.
And I ended up meeting one of them like many years, like maybe a few years later, and I showed her a picture from 2 years ago, and she was like, "You're an ass." And I was like, I think it's funny.
That's amazing.
So you got to actually demo a little bit of the game, which none of
Yeah.
us got the
I know.
opportunity to do.
Sorry.
Can you
Capped
tell
line,
us
bro.
How is it?
a little bit about this
Dish.
game?
I like this game a lot. Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Ooh.
It is the third entry in the current reboot series. It's the end of the trilogy of what we're calling Lara's origin story, and it's a lot darker game than the previous two. So there's going to be more emphasis on the kind of atmosphere and the scary aspect of raiding tombs.
What you do in that game? That's what you do.
Is that what you do?
Raid
Yeah.
tombs?
That-
Interesting.
Is that a plot? I did not know that.
Weird.
I thought we were cooking sausages. So the tombs are getting bigger. The hub is massive. It's in this a hidden city called Paititi, and it's like this hidden Mesoamerican civilization that is they would spend tons of time creating this hub. So I'm pretty excited about it. And like they're taking a lot of time with the cinematics this time around. Well, I mean not this time around, but
I
like
mean, they've been pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
They've been pretty good.
like even more so. Like there's an emphasis on story and character development. So
So of all the three, this one blows the other two out of the water so far?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that blows the other two out of the water. I'm gonna say that it's. I'm excited about it because I actually know more than I did for the other two games.
Yeah.
So
They told you nothing before, and now you're actually important.
I think it's just I have more room in the script, so I know more of the story and
Oh,
stuff.
that's awesome.
There's more
So
script
you
for
do have
Jonah.
secrets. Tell us everything.
Yeah.
Spoilers?
Yeah, I think one of our producers wanted to ask you, like, how long is Jonah gonna put up with Laura's bullshit? Like, all of her friends are dead
Yeah,
except
why
for
are you still alive? What is going on?
I'm glad that they picked Jonah.
Of all of her friends, only you.
Because Sam's in the mental institution, and,
Sure.
and Reyes is around, but she has a daughter to take care of. Jonah's the only one who is free, I guess.
I got nothing to do. I could rate some
Free to
students.
hang with Laura.
But yeah, I mean, I think he sticks around because he definitely has this protector instinct with Laura. He used to have a brother that died in the canon, and I think he projects that need to protect onto her, despite the fact that she's probably more capable than he is. So,
Now, before the stream, we did a little bit of speculation, but I liked what you had to say. How much, where do you think the story's going after the third installment? How much more story do you think we're going to see from Tomb Raider?
I actually have no idea on that front. I mean, we were speculating, and I mean, it's confirmed that this is going to be the end of the reboot trilogy and Lara's origin story, because we're pushing this is watch Lara become the Tomb Raider. So whatever that means, I'm sure they're going to go forward in that direction.
Yeah, I like how you're like, oh, this is the end of the origin story.
Right.
So finally,
there's room for more story there.
Exactly.
finally turn into Lara Croft, like old PlayStation 1 style.
That could be like the direction we're going into. I like whether or not that's going to happen, and whether or not that's going to involve me or Jonah, the character.
Well, you've made it this far. Why not?
Yeah, right?
He's got nothing
Keep the
else to
streak
do.
up.
I want to see polygonal Jonah,
dude.
back to PS1 style.
Can you imagine? Can we get that skin?
Yeah.
I would be satisfied if Jonah was even if he was just like dude in the chair,
Yeah.
Shout out to the guy in the chair from Homecoming. Yeah. Jacob Babylon. What up, man?
What up? Hey, Ryan, thanks for the cheers. Thanks for the
thank you,
thanks for
Ryan.
the
I
bits.
appreciate it. Thank you for the bits.
Thank you.
Now I think we could take a little cut to Dying Light 2. Bryan got to see a little bit of gameplay.
So
Did you actually
scary.
play it?
Yeah,
Play it.
No, it was like Cyberpunk 2070, where it was
You get to see, but don't
a
touch.
gameplay demonstration
Okay.
behind closed
okay.
doors. We
Look,
sat in the
but you
theater,
Don't touch
and
my controller.
so they had one of the developers control
Oh,
some of it,
jeez.
and then another narrate and describe some of the mechanics
But they
and new
gave you
things going on.
some pretty sweet swag.
Yeah, they gave us like a little like parkour running,
Backpack?
biking, running messenger
Messenger
bag, and it came with
It
Big
was
ass
pretty cool.
charger.
a T-shirt that said "I saw it first" on the back.
I'll grab it while everything's playing.
Okay,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
All right, let's see that clip.
Hey, this is Bryan, and I just got out of behind closed doors demonstration of Dying Light 2, and I thought I survived, but I'm not so sure anymore. But yeah, the game looks really cool. I was really excited. I'm equipped now. They still got parkour. They've got double the amount of parkour. There is more in-depth melee combat because this takes place 15 years in the future, which I thought was cool. The coolest thing I thought was the new world they're creating here. It's 15 years later, so now there's established human factions that you can align yourself to. We know there's gonna be more than two, and the two that they've shared were the Peacekeepers, and they look kind of like the typical military-run, guys with like makeshift maces and shields type of faction, and then there's the Scavengers, who are like pro parkour people, and they want to like close themselves off with cities. They're good at working with scrap. So there's going to be gameplay where your choices affect the world, the story, and your environment, literally. We saw in the demo that if you chose to side with one faction and let them take over an area, the environment looks completely different versus another environment with different pros and cons, like free water to heal yourself, whereas the other one you get money, you get tribute for people who bought the water that you made deals with. So that's the aspect I'm looking most forward to, is the open world sandbox gameplay, as they called it, that they've introduced. They've hired people that were worked on The Witcher 3 stories. So then they've hired a guy to work on non-linear story progression. So this is definitely going to be an interesting sandbox experience, and with co-op coming back, 4-player co-op. And the cool thing I saw about this now with co-op is you can go to a friend's game and see how different the world he created is. You know, what factions rule what and what pathways did it unlock and shortcuts or not versus the advantages you get for being with another faction. So this is going to create even more replayability with this game than even the first Dying Light, which, you know, 3 years later, people are still playing it now and they're still creating updates for it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to picking it up and seeing like what the other factions are going to be. And the game was just gorgeous. And this was a pre-alpha build that we got to see. So yeah, I'm stoked to see that. I'm going to go check out some other stuff and I'll come back to you later.
That was pretty good. What do you think, Bryan?
It was cool. I was kind of skeptical of like how much more they could have added to Dying Light. It's like, yeah, we've seen a lot of zombie games, first person survival, whatever, but the fact that they're calling it the modern Dark Ages. It's 15 years after the collapse of everything, the first game. So like humanity's
Gone.
had a chance to really reestablish themselves as something.
The opposite of that.
So
They
there's
came
like
back.
there's like factions now, and they're all kind of different. There's no law, there's no whatever, except for what the factions own in terms of the territory. And visually it changes the environment. I thought that was
Cool.
really cool.
Oh, that's
Like,
cool.
I don't know if they went into it in the thing, but one of the things that I liked about the original Dying Light was there was a phone app that was in conjunction with the game, which was really cool immersion. Do you know? Did they mention anything?
They didn't
about it?
mention anything about that.
Oh,
but
okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. 'Cause
What did
they're
the
just
app do?
adding
The
more
app would
on.
add, you could like see maps and things like that, and it was like
got
a
it.
Pip-Boy style
Yeah, I was gonna
thing.
say
Yeah.
that.
It was cool.
And then let's see some of the swag they gave you.
Oh yeah, so this is the bag that they gave us. A little
Nice. Nice bag.
and
Lots of pockets.
it's just so
No,
heavy.
we
Pockets are
actually did have.
indispensable
I think there's a question for
in the
Earl.
apocalypse.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, you got a shirt too?
That shirt's a very popular merch here.
I know.
Did you get any swag?
I did not get any swag.
all?
No.
Tomb Raider? Nothing? PlayStation gave you nothing.
No. Well, I didn't see PlayStation.
And then they had like a little. It's not in here.
Oh, it's in the front pocket.
the last one.
They gave one of these.
heavy-duty-
Yeah, it's like
nice
10,000
heavy-duty
Whoa!
capacity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
battery.
super
That's
cool.
legit.
But it's
Right?
also a wireless charger
What is
too.
this thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
is that
can
the
What?
wireless?
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
And it's a digital reader here. You can see.
I'm like hecka
That's
jealous.
so
The future's
The
now.
Yeah, I was like, wow, they hooked it
I mean,
up.
that's not like that crazy technology, but that's
No,
a
no,
cool
no.
Yeah, but
giveaway.
that's
yeah.
expensive.
There was also a little
amazing
It's like
carabiner
back
there with
in
the
like
compass.
2004
Strange thing.
when Guild Wars
Compass
2
didn't work,
gave away
though.
like
I would die.
USB
Oh, yeah.
drives.
USB.
Yeah, I know. All 32 megabytes.
So, Kelly, we actually had a question for Earl.
Oh, Earl, question.
Someone,
What?
Jalen asked, what was the process like when you started making the game, and then what were some of the flaws? I mean,
The
Tell us
process,
everything you hated about PlayStation.
I know you don't have to.
the process of making the game, it's triple A title, so they do a lot of the like motion capture. I got to get in the suit and
You
do
post a lot of
motion
clips
capture.
on
Ping pong
Instagram,
balls?
right?
Yeah. There's some stuff I posted on Instagram during the E3 Coliseum yesterday. They actually showed raw footage of me and Camilla in the suit, like doing one of the kind of like more intense scenes from the game.
Did you have to get a trainer for set? Work out 5 times a
No,
week?
they just put you straight into the skin-tight Velcro suit and cover you with balls.
Yeah. Sounds like a Friday night.
Yeah. I know. Wait, Earl, what's different from your everyday?
Yeah.
But so I mean, we get to do the mocap process much like Avatar or like Ready Player One does. Actually, we shoot in the exact same studio that Ready Player One used.
Oh,
most
cool.
recently. And they take all that stuff and they digitize it, turn it into the cinematics. But it's been a pretty cool process. We got a little more freedom this time around in terms of what we could do with like improvising stuff on set. So that was
It's
pretty
okay.
awesome.
None of us know words anyway.
No, I don't. I do know
None of us
words.
know.
So I have a quick question then about
Yeah.
that. With the mocap stuff, do they record the audio from that you try to kind of sync up in the booth then, or is it just kind of go for it?
It's performance capture. So there's these two things. These two mandibles that come down on either sides of our face, and then cameras and a microphone. So they capture everything,
Oh, okay.
not just the movement, but our voice, our faces, and
And is that what they use for the sound for the game?
yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But I mean, there'll be little hiccups here and there, and we go and we do dialogue replacement. We
Sure.
do ADR. So
Oh, okay.
if we need to.
Which
Yeah.
sounds like a huge pain in the butt for a video game, but I don't know. Maybe it's the same.
For the most part, it's the same actually.
Still awful.
Yeah, it's still ADRs are not the best thing either way, but
Yeah.
It sounds sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Xander,
so
all
like,
you.
as an actor, that must be really satisfying to be able to do the motions as if it were a play, as opposed to being in the booth where everything is like in your mind and you're visualizing the scenes.
oh, it's one of like the best in terms of being an actor. One of the best processes for creation. I think
Sure.
our director Daryl was talking about like how he looks at mocap as kind of the convergence of on-camera work and theatrical, and I mean like theater, because when we do a scene in the mocap volume, it's like the entire scene. We don't. It doesn't get cut up into like pickups and then coverage, masters, and like all that stuff like we do with like on-camera stuff. But we just get to run the entire scene over and over again. So whatever raw emotions and discoveries that we make, they're all there. So
That's so
it's
great.
Yeah, it's a cool process.
Yeah.
We also had one other question from Thomas. Did you get to see anything else from E3, and did you have a favorite?
I didn't get to see anything, which is
Oh no.
Please
Your
do.
favorite is Tomb Raider.
That's my favorite.
Well.
I'm a little sad because I'm a gamer, and I used to come just here just even when I'm not here to promote Tomb Raider. I would just look around at stuff. So I haven't gotten a chance to see anything, but I don't know. I did watch like all the conferences, and I'm looking forward to Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Yes.
Yeah, which we will be
You got to
talking about
play
later.
it, though.
We will be
Jerks.
talking
We
about
will. We
that
will be
later.
talking about it. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
So mad.
How did it feel when you walked in and saw the Tomb Raider booth?
It was pretty cool because like
It's one of the best
massive.
ones here.
Yeah,
it's
cool.
massive. Like it's this is the first thing I think first time we're like you walk into South Hall and it's just there. It's
Yeah.
this massive thing. I'm like, oh my god, that's it. So yeah, it was. I was flabbergasted.
Did any Jonah cosplayers come to the booth?
No joke.
How about Tomb Raider cosplayers?
We do have 3 like official
Official ones? I think we saw one yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
we
one
saw-
of them yesterday.
Yeah.
but yeah, Jen Croft, Ray Croft, and Salem Croft. So they're all there at the booth yesterday. Yeah, rocking it with the new Lara cosplay. So
Cool.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, E3's not the biggest cosplay.
No,
Right.
it's
There's
No,
not.
It was
a whole
only
lot.
open to the public last year.
Yeah.
So it's fairly new. Let's take a little break and jump into Xander's coverage for
Jump into
today.
me. Yeah.
Jump right into Xander.
Yeah, I got to go to WB Games and see Lego DC Supervillains, and so I
Nice.
think we have a clip of that too. Hey guys, it's Xander here for that hashtag show. We're here at the WB Games booth about to check out Lego DC Supervillains. I'm super excited about this because I'm sick of playing the hero, alright? I want to give him a piece of my mind, and apparently in this, you get to create your own villain with its own superpowers and play through the game and show them what's what. So, I mean, Harley Quinn's alright and everything like that, but I'll show them who the real villain is. Maybe it was you all along.
Thank you so much to WB Games and for you guys for tuning in for this video. Make sure to check out LEGO's DC Supervillains coming out October 16th, just in time for Halloween, and let out your spooky self. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and click the bell notification to get alerts whenever we upload. Thanks so much. I'll see you later.
Man, they are. I see why they keep making more and more Lego games.
Yeah.
Xander, what did you think about the game?
I loved it. It kept that same kind of like Lego humor. I got to, you can see the full interview up later this week or next week on that #show.com. But I got to talk to one of the developers, and he's worked on the Lego series for 11 years, and he's just in love with it. And they loved the concept of working with the DC villains. And so not only that, but being able to create your own villain.
Villains are so in right now.
Huh?
Villains are so
The villains
in
are so in right now. But it makes more sense because you're running around breaking things. It's like, oh yeah, villains
Kids
would do
love
that. Yeah.
And adults love that.
Adults love it. I loved it.
I hate live
Yeah. Smash.
Man, I definitely want to try that out. I need to play more games. I'm just gonna go home and just play games.
That's a good idea.
All night.
All
All
I do
night.
anyway.
But yes, check out the full interview later on our YouTube and our website. And then I believe we got a few more questions for Earl. Unless you
Also, real quick, thanks,
Yeah.
Thomas. I see you in Twitch chat. Let's hang out sometime.
yeah.
Yes. So one of the other questions was there ever a time that you felt like you were overwhelmed, or felt like you were doing too much or too little?
Wow. I know for sure that there was a time when I did feel overwhelmed. Was like the first day I stepped into the motion capture volume way back in Tomb Raider 2013. I mean, it's a lot to take in. You walk into this giant room and there's cameras like all covering the walls. You're in a Velcro suit covered in balls, and you have these you have these two.
I can't not laugh.
you have these mandibles like pointed at your face. So. And I mean, you're literally thinking there. At least as like a relatively young actor at that point, I was like, I'm like in the middle of this multi-million-dollar franchise. This is crazy. So, yeah, there are points where I do feel, I've felt overwhelmed. In terms of like doing little, too much or nothing at all. I don't know if there's really you can really do too much.
It sounds like Jonah went from like a side character to like part of the main story, so I feel like that's a pretty big jump.
Right? Yeah. That's always nice.
Okay, I know you did some voice lines before, but now you're gonna do like a little bit of everything.
Right.
Well, maybe
Which is always a good thing.
maybe with too much, sometimes you get burnt out, because you're working too hard. But you're killing it. So
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. It's all part of the process. Ebbs and flows. Feast and famine. Thus is the industry. So
Yeah.
yes.
I feel like we've talked about this many times before, but do you feel like you're connected with Jonah? Is he like basically you?
I don't know if he's basically.
Or have you created a different persona for him?
There's a very real part of me that he springs from.
Okay.
Yeah, I am the wellspring of his life. But there's an emotional anchor that I use to latch on to who Jonah is, and so he's there's definitely part of me in him. Yeah, I don't want to, not to sound too tea-leafy, but
You were made for that role.
Yes.
Did we have any more questions for Earl?
Nope.
Not right now.
Nothing else? Well, then we can jump into the Nintendo coverage. Cory and I did get to play a lot of the stuff at the Nintendo booth, including
Right?
Smash Brothers.
Jealous.
It made my week. I was very excited.
Smash Brothers,
Good.
Pokemon.
Unfortunately, whoa! Are you kidding me? I think you had 8 times more coverage than I
It
did.
had a lot of fun, but still.
Excuse me.
excuse me.
Dude, Nintendo was
Unfortunately-
hot. Everyone wanted to see that.
Everyone, it was very, very. The guy, our producer, does the greatest impression of the guy at the Nintendo booth. He's just like, I just can't right now. Like, I'm trying to fit you guys in at noon.
It's 30 minutes,
Like,
just 30
I am
minutes.
just so
That's it.
overwhelmed.
Like,
I asked him to do that impression.
He was
It
overwhelmed.
It was
great.
so
It
good.
was so good.
Unfortunately, they wouldn't let us film anything. Everything was under wraps. They had to put us they walked us up some flights of stairs, put us like in a room in another room so we could play Pokemon, and it was like no one could
Yeah,
see
they
it.
didn't want to show anything of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, but the Smash Brothers stuff was like
It was
more
pretty
lenient.
open.
We
They're
got some
pretty open
stills,
with
but
that.
they didn't want us bringing a full camera thing.
No,
Like that. We
no.
just
So you
couldn't do
did
that.
get to see like.
Yeah, well, we got
So
to see it. We got to play. We got to play.
The
Yeah.
Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu Pokeball. We got to use it, and we got to demo like catching a Pokemon and battling a trainer. And we got to see like a little bit of like what to expect. It's a lot like Pokemon Go.
Nice.
A lot of the actual like catching part is a lot like Pokemon Go, where you have to like motion. I actually threw the ball.
You did not.
It was connected to her
It was
wrist.
on her
Thank
wrist.
goodness,
Okay.
because that would have been
Not
a
a
cracked
disaster.
screen, and I didn't even get to play once because we would have got kicked
But
out.
she's like, throw the ball, and I just like threw it.
We
I'm
would
like,
have.
no, not actually.
Yeah, because you did. In fairness, you did ask. You just throw it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
she's
totally
like, yeah,
asked.
and I didn't mean like mimic throwing, but it has like the ring like Pokemon Go,
Right.
and so you want to throw it at the right time. You can feed them a raspberry to get them to stay, and you can see. So one of the things I'd asked was if you could, like, you know, when you walk in the grass and your Pokemon's dying and you're like, no Pokemon, please, I can't do this. You can't avoid them.
Yeah,
you,
it's not
you
wild
see where all the
encounters.
Pokemon are.
They're
like,
just
they're not
completely
hidden,
out.
and you know, like, there's a Pikachu over there. Like, let's go over there and get that Pikachu.
Yeah, you can completely avoid everything.
It's not random encounter.
No,
it's
not at all.
But they did,
Like in the Pokemon game.
explain that this is like a beginner-friendly game. It is a casual
So unlike
player
Pokemon.
game.
Sure.
So later on, like the main franchise game is coming, but this
Right.
one's gonna
Still
be
on the Switch.
yeah, still on
Yeah.
the Switch.
Yeah.
But this is for casual players, so
Right,
there's
right.
not going to be as many of like the questing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
not gonna
we
be
don't
horribly
exactly know
grindy.
what the full story will entail.
We don't. We only got to see a little bit, but I was very appreciative of that little bit. I was so excited.
Yeah, honestly, this was one of my favorite things. I mean, I'm obviously clearly biased for
Sure.
Pokemon. I love them to death, and I love Eevee and Pikachu. It was cool because you got to have Pikachu riding on your
Yeah.
shoulder, like your
And Eevee
ass.
sits on your
Eevee sits
head.
on your head for
Eevee
some
is so
reason.
cute.
I'm not exactly sure why, but it's hilarious and adorable.
And Pokemon follows you. You get
And
a
you
lead
still have one little buddy. So, like, we had a Charmander following us, and
Aw.
I really wanted Bulbasaur to follow, but that was not
They
part of the
weren't-
demo.
they couldn't.
It's
What
crazy.
about Squirtle?
Squirtle was in
Squirtle's my
in-
favorite.
in our bag, or
Nice.
in a ball.
And I believe it's only going to cover the first generation of Pokemon.
Yes, it's
That's
so
what-
150. It's actually funny because when we logged in, it said 151 as our Pokedex. I was like, what? We have Mew already? And so that was pretty sweet.
So that's, I mean, and then the battling is pretty standard.
It's exactly the same as far as we know to the regular Pokemon games.
the
I got
texture
to
was good. Like on Pikachu,
Yeah.
like when he's facing away from us, we could see like little hairs on
Yeah,
his
actually,
back.
Oh.
That's cool.
graphically, it actually looked better in my opinion than a lot of the other Switch stuff. Because
Yeah.
I mean, Switch is objectively the
They have a
lowest
lot of
of
third-party
the
games.
consoles and PC. Yeah, and that's the problem is third-party games aren't optimized as well. But
Sure.
this is like really close to home
First
for
party,
Nintendo.
yeah.
So
Well, Nintendo's focus has never really been on the graphics. It's
No.
all about the
No.
gameplay or a
but
gimmick.
they're doing a
Kid
really
friendly.
good. They're doing a good job with this one. It looks really good, and I think that's worth emphasizing because it's
So
just
everyone
it's
should
great
go
to
out
see.
and buy it. And I think that they said that you can pre-order the Pokeball today.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
want.
That's what she said,
I'm-
but I didn't
That's
check
what she
yet.
said.
It's gonna be like a $300 Pokemon machine for
And,
me.
yeah, he doesn't have a Switch yet.
I don't have a Switch, but
But
I'm
I
gonna
do.
have
This
one
is
soon.
gonna be simple.
Pokemon.
Oh, there was a few more things about the
Switch.
Pokeball. So she said that, like, when you actually catch it,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
it makes a noise. It does like the little, like the ting, like when you
Oh,
catch
sure.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Pika actually says Pika. And it has a light on the Pokeball, like it glows, like when it's catching it turns green once you've caught the Pokemon. Also, you can take the Pokeball with you and you can train that Pokemon out, kind of like the Pokemon walkers that they used to have.
It's like
Sure.
the Go Plus.
It's like the Go
Yeah.
Plus for Pokemon Go.
For
That's
Pokemon
kind
Go.
of awesome.
So
It's
it
awesome.
does.
I love
think,
it, and
yeah.
I'm getting one.
But so
Getting
you can
one.
actually level up a Pokemon in your off the Switch or whatever.
Yeah.
for
Oh,
that
that's
game.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
No, I can-
everyone go buy this.
Well,
that
I
on your
can see
belt,
this
walk around
in
like
a
that.
classic
Yeah.
like Nintendo move of they're going to ship this out without enough stock.
They're not.
Oh, yeah.
They're
They're
going to
no,
create
it's gonna be
demand
hard
in
to
that
get.
way, yeah. So if you can pre-order now,
Yeah, I'm
I would
going to
recommend
do that
that.
immediately.
Yeah.
First naps and then pre-order.
Do you think you can use more than one Pokeball?
They said
Like,
you can have two
you can-
Pokeballs and you can have two players at once in one game.
Yes,
and
so that
the
yeah,
guests
that,
can
that was the
use
other
your
thing.
Pokemon
They
and your
said
stuff.
co-op Pokemon. I don't know exactly what that entails, but it said you support the other person, but you have access to their Pokemon. So I'm guessing
Cool.
that you just
3.
can play
That's
co-op,
kinda
and if you can do
cool.
dual battles, on the go or online, I'm gonna lose my freaking mind. Seriously, like I've been waiting for like
Nintendo
the
killed it
true
with the Pokemon
co-op
game.
Pokemon game, and I want it.
So moving on to the other games that we covered, we
No, I
also
don't
got
wanna.
to play Smash Brothers, and I feel like Pokemon just overshadowed it so much because Smash Brothers is.
It's
just
I
like
don't
the
think
other
they're
Smash
not
Brothers, so-
innovating an immense amount in Smash, but I think
Yes.
that's a good thing too. I
Yeah,
mean,
because,
it's Smash
don't,
Brothers.
Don't change what ain't broke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's been risks in the past with like 64 to Melee, Melee to Brawl, and Wii U wasn't incredibly different from Brawl, I think. But this is like, pretty changed. Or pretty unchanged, excuse me.
As long as you don't bring back the random slipping.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always a horrific. Because that was just me and not my friends.
Yeah. But it was fun. We did get to try out the new Breath of the Wild level. We got to try
really?
out the new character Ridley.
Yeah,
Oh,
really.
how was it?
Really
So
was cool.
slow.
Yeah.
He's a little slow. He actually feels oddly. Well, actually, in my opinion, the whole game felt just a hair slower. But that might have just been because I'm bad now, and not
So long
because.
since we played.
Because it's been a while for me, but it felt not as snappy. But also, like, the controller's a little bit different from a classic GameCube controller, so it was a little bit of.
But it's
still
like
haven't.
an approximation of the GameCube controller?
Yeah, actually, it was pretty similar.
Yes.
The controls that they have for that specifically is
I mean,
pretty
we didn't
close.
get to try out the new one that they have coming out, the GameCube
Yeah.
adapter one.
Yeah.
We didn't get to try that one out, but we tried out their like standard
The
gaming
Pro.
controller.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Pro.
got it,
Thank
It
you.
felt
Pro,
it
got
was
it.
good though. I mean, it was Smash Brothers, and I got to play as Ike again, so I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, all the characters are there.
Ike was awesome, man.
Ike, dude, he was my main in Brawl.
In
So.
Brawl.
And then we also
insane.
got to demo Overcooked 2. I'm a big fan of it. Because I saw that, and then
Yeah.
Cory and our producer didn't know that was. I'm like, you don't play that?
Yeah, so we
And
got
he's
to
like, why are you
play.
mad at me?
We got to play
It
with
was
4
fun.
people,
It was
and
fun
we
with
were like awesome. Well, we were awesome on the first really easy level, and then we just got
It just
wrecked
fell
by
apart.
conveyor belts.
I need a tomato. I need a tomato.
Yeah.
So
Where do I
there
put
was-
it?
there's
I
new-
took care of my rice.
Yeah, we
Okay.
did sushi. We got new
Wow.
foods. So right off the bat, there was still like a lot of ingredients to do, and then new complications like the floor had movers instead of like the conveyor belts around the side.
Yeah.
So it's the same game, but a lot of new foods and new challenges. Which is awesome.
Get him.
Accurate. Oh, we're getting dropped by inappropriate looking blow up things.
Oh yeah, we played Ninjala.
We did play on Jala too. We had a competition.
We had a tournament.
Oh my.
Yeah.
We did.
And you'll have to see
And you'll
who
have-
wins.
Yeah, you won't know who wins until you see the video that
Yeah.
will be posted on YouTube.
Who has the highest honor?
I win.
Thanks for the bits. We
oh,
see
thank
you in
you.
Twitch chat.
Thank
It's
you, Blinky.
Blink.
Yeah.
Thank you, Blink.
It's
Small
Blink and
shout
You're
out
Dead, but I
to-
call her Blinky because that's how I
Oh,
read it
Blink
the
and
first
You're
time.
Dead.
So to some personal friends of mine, Blinking You're Dead and Green Lion Voltron Pilot were hopping in there.
She popped in there too.
Yeah, she was. I haven't
Walker.
seen her, but hopefully she's there. Yeah.
If you're still there, hi Walker.
And we did actually have one question that I accidentally skipped because I'm a terrible human
Perfect.
being.
We know.
Questions for Earl. We love it.
What?
It was just being the pros and cons of being in a video game.
Pros and cons?
I mean, I'm trying to think of any cons. And
Yeah, I don't know if there are any cons.
Cons are that I have a job and that it's glamorous.
have too much money now.
And then I'm famous now.
Yeah.
There are lots of pros. It's like doing voices for video games is always what I kind of wanted to do. There's like this old live journal that is still floating around the internet where it's like a profile I filled out for some team, and under it it says, "What do you want to do for a living?" And it's like, "I want to voice video games," and it's from 2003 or 4. So I'm working for video games and doing voices is like, it's just one big pro. I don't know if there's really a con.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
It seems like a lot of fun.
yeah,
Lots
it's
of
awesome.
pros and lots of
I guess-
conventions.
I
Yes,
guess
there
the
you go.
con
Yeah.
is that it's a lot of hard work.
Sure.
I mean, you went through a lot of
Yeah.
strenuous activity with the mocap,
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
but I feel
There's
like
a lot
that
of-
doesn't outweigh the pros whatsoever.
No.
You're not in a coal mine.
No, exactly. I'm not. I got the black lung, pop. I know.
Yeah. Cassie says you're at the
Yeah.
con, so that's the only con.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get.
Exactly.
that's
Thank
the
you.
only con.
That was good.
Yes.
Excellent.
Was that the last question for Earl?
Just the other one, I think that you already answered. Do you ever get recognized as a voice actor?
Oh no.
Which is good though as well because
You
you
get
get
privacy.
anonymity,
Right. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
But if
then
people
the
know,
people
then
who
they know.
really do know you, then
True.
like then it's like super awesome.
Everyone remember this beautiful face over here.
Right?
Oh god, that one.
And is there anything else you wanted to add, Earl?
This
feel
has
like
been fun. It's
Claire
been a good show. Thank you so much.
Oh, what is your Instagram so people can go and
Yes,
see
yes,
the
yes,
footage?
thank you.
It's Early Be Good, like Johnny Be Good from so EARLYB, the letter B, and then GOODE. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. This was fun.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks.
so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be free to come talk with us.
For sure.
So that pretty much wraps up E3 Day 3 and the whole con in general.
Oofa
This is
doofa,
it.
what a
I'm
con.
sad, 'cause
I
now
know.
we're not going to have our team together
I
anymore.
know. Brian's
this
going
is
back to
actually
Korea.
pretty freaking awesome. Well, okay, quick question, guys. What do you guys all hate the most about Kelly?
Yeah,
okay.
that's fine.
Let me think.
It's okay.
I just have to narrow
We'll go
it down real
I
quick.
thought I was losing my
Oh,
voice.
I got a list. Hold on.
Yeah.
No.
I hate that Kelly has her own microphone.
Yeah.
I'm special because I have cooties.
No, it has been really awesome though
Yeah,
working with you
it's
guys.
Yeah.
been so great.
Honestly,
this was fun.
just right from the first stream, it's been a lot of fun. So
If you guys
thank
haven't seen them already, I highly recommend you check out our Twitch streams of us touring the con floor, of us just hanging out. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yes, please go check those out. And Xander, where can everyone find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Xanderific. That's with 2 R's and 1 F. And then make sure to check out the series We're Alive on Geek and Sundry. The whole thing is out right now, and you can see the whole thing at projectalpha.com.
He's also part of the Library Bards.
And I'm
so
part
you
of the
can-
Library Bards.
If you don't know.
Pretty magical.
I'm a library bard.
And we covered Earl, so I'm just going to
Yes.
skip over you. Brian, where can everyone find you?
You can find me as B Genso on everything, BGENSO. I just typed it in chat.
In the
Oh,
chat.
jeez.
Click
There he
it.
goes.
Smart.
So,
Corey, where can everyone find you?
I apologize also. Apparently, I muttered this the other day. I am
yeah.
at Cory Yee, CORYYEE on Twitter. And then I'm Cory the Voice Guy on Instagram and YouTube. Please check out all my bull crap.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. He does a lot of cool Machinima videos, and he's not giving enough credit.
They're
Fair
great.
enough.
And you can find me on all social media at Cranky Cupcakes with the Z at the end. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit like, subscribe, follow wherever you're watching to keep up to date with everything trending in geek pop culture. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.